Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to see and learn how we can implement Flutter notifications in Flutter, which is basically implementing it for both Android and iOS. So I will keep this video as fast and short as possible so that you get pure quality content always. So the first thing you need to do is open your Android manifest XML file and add this intent filter in your Android manifest. So since we are implementing this notifications thing in Flutter using Firebase as our backend, so firstly what we need to do is set up this intent filter here. So this intent filter is basically for your notifications to work in the background also. So for example, if you see in apps like Instagram or maybe in general apps, you get a notification, and once you click on it, it opens the app, your particular app. So for example, if it's an Instagram notification, you click on the Instagram notification, it opens the Instagram app. So that's the same way. Even if the app is terminated, not in the background and not even closed permanently also, still you click on the notification, it opens the app. So this line is really important for putting into the manifest XML. Now the second thing you need to do is implement something as a, so since I am using block architecture in my Flutter code, but irrespective of whatever you are using in your Flutter application, doesn't matter. What you need to do is implement this notification services file. Now what happens in this notification service, so we have to, for every notification to work, we need an FCM token. So if you are implementing through Firebase as your backend specifically, then you need an FCM token to work. Now once that is done, you will implement a code like asking for notification permission from your Android. So this code basically does that. It is checking for whether the status is denied or determined. Else if it is done, then we are getting the FCM token. So for enabling the messaging, you need to enable your messaging in your Firebase. So if you go in the Firebase account, you basically in this Firebase you have this messaging thing. So you need to, I think it comes under the Blaze plan, but it is, I mean, up to you. Like you need to do some, if you need to upgrade into the Blaze plan, then you need to, from here you can actually do the implementation part for the notifications. So once messaging is enabled from the Firebase, you can enable, you can do notifications in your Flutter code. So there is an you need to firstly initialize FCM. So initializing FCM is basically requesting permission. Once the permission is done, you need to basically update the token into the Firebase. So once you get the permissions for for enabling notifications in a Flutter app from this particular piece of code, then you can basically save that token. You need to get this messaging token from here, which is basically called the FCM token. FCM token, you can research it also. And once that is done, then you need to implement something. Once you have done, you can save it in your users. If you are having a particular user in your Firebase, then you can save or update his FCM token. I mean, whenever it gets expired or whenever you want to use it. So this piece of code is actually doing so, saving a token into the database, and this is the user ID that I am using for I'm going to the collection users and saving the FCM token into that user ID collection. Now once that is done, FCM token is saved. You can do some print logs. You can also update token in database in case your user does not allow the permission, then he needs to specifically go to the settings and give permission. So this piece of code basically does that. It will help you open the settings. So I'm writing a condition that if status is denied forever or it is denied, then user need to open the settings, and then he can basically come here and in the settings, when he gives the permission, you can actually will be able to call this update token function in your Flutter code. And since for me I'm basically doing all this from the user profile, so for example this is my user profile, and from the notifications, for example let me go here. So here this I am giving this enable button here. So once I click on this enable button, I will be able to grant permissions for enabling my notifications into my so this is an iOS device, for example. Once you do it, once you will using an Android device. So for iOS setup is a little bit more different. So you need to basically use an API for it. So I researched a lot on the internet to find this what you call push notification API from the Firebase, and every video on YouTube currently is using very old code and old APIs that are not currently in use. Even if you take help on internet, Stack Overflow, I mean it will be very tough to find this thing, that you need to implement FCM notification via HTTP v1 API from for the notification. So once you do that, you will have to pass the target FCM token. Basically in the previous step you are storing FCM token for each user, so you have to pass it. You need to pass a title. I mean this is a helper function basically. So you are passing the title, you are passing the body that you want to show in your notification, and then this is the FCM token. Remember, FCM token is our key, is the most important thing for getting the notifications coming up on your phone. So if this is not present for any user, then I'm sorry, he won't be able to get the notification. So you need to write the code such that every time the user, every user has this FCM token have in their account. Now once that is done, you need to get this Firebase service account.json file. Now see, this file you can get from your cloud account, and if you will do a little bit research on the internet, you will easily get how to get this Firebase service account.json file. I will show you how it looks like. It basically contains your internal keys and important sensitive data, but I mean this is very much required for getting the notifications thing to work perfectly. And in the assets here I am storing it, so it will contain your project ID, your private key, client email, client ID, auth token, URI, universal domain, etc. etc. So you can research. I mean you will get it easily. I mean you can get it from your cloud. If you are using GCP, you can get it from there. Since you are using Firebase, you must be your default you are using GCP, so you can get this JSON file from there. Now once that is done, this is a simple code that I have written to basically hit this particular URI with my project ID. So I'm hitting this URL. So basically this is an API endpoint which is required to send the notification from one place to another on a particular device basically. So I am basically passing my target FCM token is basically, for example, if my user wants to send a message to from user A wants to send a message to user B, then user B will have an FCM token, and that will be the target FCM token. So A can send the message which will be in title and body, and he will use the B's FCM token to do it. So you can again basically get it from getting the user data, and then you're sending this thing. You can also, if you have a backend server available, you can also push all these things onto there. You don't need to expose it into your client side application, but since this video is for educational purposes only, I'm showing you there. Now you need to set priority for how your notification would be, so keep the priority high. And now again, I showed you in the starting of the video intent filter containing this click action. Now this is where those click actions get linked up, so you need to keep in mind this thing. So whatever click action you are giving here, you need to keep that same thing in the manifest file, so that your notification can make the app open and it can react to it. Now once these all things are set, these are basically some payload data, high priority for iOS device, payload, etc, etc, and then data again you are passing click action and status done. Now here you are basically checking the response, whether the notification was sent successfully or not. If the notification is sent successfully, otherwise if it's failed, you can basically print and debug what went wrong. So this is the side of what will happen in your basically the notification service, and then you can utilize this service anywhere. If you will want, I can put this file code into the description also. It will be a dummy code, but you can utilize it. I won't expose anything. The last thing you need to do to implement notifications correctly is in your main.dart file. Again, I will put this code into the description. You can get it from there, and you can take help from it. So you need to, I'm basically doing some basic normal stuff of my app, like portrait up and down. Then I'm setting up Flutter notifications. So this function is basically for local notifications to show up. So for example, you need to do Android initialization settings, and Darwin is for iOS, so you need to create two settings file. And once that is done, then you can initialize Flutter notifications plugin to initialize this setting. And once that is done, you can this is for listening for foreground messages. So remember, there are two kinds of messages. There is one is a background message, that once your app is closed then the message comes, and one is a foreground message. So for example, you see you are using Instagram and someone sends you a reel, you are able to see it. So that is called a push notification. That is called a local notification that you are seeing once your app is open. So that is called a foreground message. So you listening to that foreground message and you show a local notification. Don't worry if you do not get the gist of it right now. Once you will have the code available, then you can basically explore everything in detail on how it is working, but still get the explanation how everything is working, because that is important. So you need to show local notifications. There are title and a body. You need to set a default channel. So for now I've set is the default channel ID is default channel ID only. I'm setting the priority and play sound true. If you set it false, you won't get, your notification won't have a sound coming. But I mean, it depends on you how you want your notifications to come. So more customization you can do based on however you need it. Now there are 2-3 more helper functions. You need a Firebase background message handler. It is nothing but just a normal function. So remote message is basically every Firebase notification that is sent is basically coming as a remote message. So you need to in your code utilize that remote message. You need to capture that remote message, otherwise your app won't understand what to do with that message. Okay, so you need to capture that remote message and do something. I mean, your app can open easily without, even if you don't do anything. But still, if you want to do more modifications, you want that a person clicks on that notification, this Firebase background notification handler gets called, and you are redirected to a particular screen. So for example, you can write navigator dot push to push named to another route you have. So you can be any kind of route can be there, your chat route or your message route, whatever your route you want to route the user to. So you can basically do that from here. So once your notification gets clicked from, once the app is in the killed state, user will be thrown to that particular screen, for example chat or home or whatever you have selected here. And apart from that, there is you need to do some settings, like you need to set Firebase messaging on background message. You need to call this handler message that I showed you. And then you need to also handle notification tab. Once your notification gets tabbed, you need to handle it. Again, I am doing this remote message. They are just helper functions, so currently they don't do very much. I'm not done much lot of modifications, because my purpose was served of showing the local notifications, showing Firebase notifications. And my purpose was to, once the notification gets clicked, it opens the app. So these all purposes are fully served by this piece of code. And later advanced modifications can be routing the person to that particular screen that you want the notification click to be open. Like for example, you receive a chat notification on Instagram, you click on it and it opens the chat screen, right? So you can handle all that code from this remote message. You can write again that navigator code to push named the route that you want to go to, from push or push named or pop, whatever you want to do. Again, I will drop this piece of code, both this notification service and this main.dart file code, because these two files. And if you want, I can drop the manifest also, but manifest is really easy. You just need to put this intent filter to handle your background presses. Once your app is killed, you want to open the application. Now if you want me to show a demo also, I will show a quick demo. For example, I want to send a message to this person. I will send, hey, hello, I can help. So I will send a message here. And once that is sent, you see a notification has come here. You can see here, this is the user ID and this is the message: reaching out for request of need help in, I can help. And then you can basically go to the chat screen and see it. But if you want, I will also show you if the app is closed. So for example, right now my app is fully closed and I want to send a message. Now you can see my app is not here. So what happens if I send a message? Hey, and this is purely Firebase, no other code. So I get a notification. So this is what I was talking about. So now right now your app is killed and the notification has come. So once you click on this notification, your app will get opened. And you can also check the logs here, like notification sent successfully, notification sent successfully. If there's a failure, you can actually debug it from the print logs. So that was it, guys. If you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, because I bring such kind of informative videos, fast videos for you guys, so you can accelerate your development. So thank you very much. Keep developing Flutter apps. Bye.